Good evening, everyone. I'm officially calling this meeting to order on January 3rd, 2017. Welcome, everyone. And we're going to get started with the roll call. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Abraham.
Present.
Commissioner Holland.
Present.
Commissioner Rhodes.
Present.
Commissioner Wilson.
Present.
Mayor Harless.
Present. And I've asked Commissioner Abraham if he'll lead us in the invocation, please.
Our Father which art in heaven, we thank you so much for new beginnings. We thank you for the past year. You kept us, you brought us through it. We are encouraged by your word. Your word is full of promises, and you are the original promise keeper. These things we ask in Yeshua's name. Amen.
Amen. If you'll remain standing, we'll do the pledge. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to its republic
for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
City Manager, are there any additions or deletions?
There are none, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. And Commissioner Abraham, I think you have the motion for the minutes.
I do. I move that the reading of the minutes for December 13th, 2016 City Commission meeting be waived, and that the minutes of said meetings prepared by the city clerk be approved as written.
I second.
Great. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Abraham.
Aye.
Commissioner Holland.
Aye.
Commissioner Rhodes.
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson.
Aye.
Mayor Harless.
Aye. And Commissioner Holland, you have the motion for the receiving and file documents.
Yes. I move that the following documents be received and filed. Number 1, called meeting notice for the Paducah Board of Commissioners for January 3rd, 2017. Number 2, oath of office for Mayor Brandy Harless and Commissioners Sandra Wilson, Richard Abraham, Alan Rhodes, and Sarah Stewart Holland. Number 3, certificates of liability insurance from A&K Construction, Inc., DC Electric of Benton, Inc., Artisan Contractors of Kentucky, LC, and Danny Cope & Sons Excavating, LLC. Special warranty deed and bill of sale with Paducah McCracken County Convention Center Corporation for 711 North 6th Street. Number 5, deed with Carolyn Brown for 2519 Ohio Street. Number 6, 2017 one-year renewal agreement with Central Paving Company of Paducah, Inc. for compost grinding of tree debris and yard waste.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Abraham.
Aye.
Commissioner Holland.
Aye.
Commissioner Rhodes.
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson.
Aye.
Mayor Harless.
Aye. Commissioner Rhodes, you have the motion for the appointment of Mayor Pro Tem.
I do. I move that Commissioner Sandra Wilson be nominated and elected Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Paducah to serve in this capacity until the expiration of her present term as City Commissioner.
Second.
Great. Any discussion? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Abraham.
Aye.
Commissioner Holland.
Aye.
Commissioner Rhodes.
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson.
Aye.
I shouldn't have called that, huh? And Mayor Harless.
Aye.
Thank you.
And we're going to move on to the municipal orders. Commissioner Wilson has the motion for the personnel actions.
Upon the recommendation of the city manager, the Board of Commissioners of the City of Paducah order that the personnel changes on the attached list be approved.
Second.
Great. Any discussion? We're going to hear from Mr. Russell.
Oh, good evening, Mayor, Commissioners, City Manager, and just to know if you have any questions concerning the personnel actions.
No discussion.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, thank you.
Commissioner Abraham.
Aye.
Commissioner Holland.
Aye.
Commissioner Rhodes.
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson.
Aye.
Mayor Harless.
Aye. All right, moving ahead to ordinances. This is just the first introduction to the ordinances. Commissioner Abraham, you have the first motion.
I do. I move that the Board of Commissioners introduce an ordinance entitled, An Ordinance of the City of Paducah, Kentucky, approving a fleet maintenance service agreement with Concord Fire Protection District and authorizing the mayor to execute said agreement. This ordinance is summarized as follows. The city hereby approves a fleet maintenance service agreement with Concord Fire Protection District for the city to provide all fleet maintenance services, including labor, materials, and operations for repair and preventive maintenance for a fee. Further, the mayor of the city is hereby authorized to execute the agreement.
Second.
Oh, second.
You have something to add to this?
Mayor, Commission, the Engineering Public Works Department is very excited about this. The reason for that is typically our fleet maintenance fund runs in a deficit during the year, and that's because we only have one customer. That customer is the City of Paducah. This expands our customer base, of which will allow us to bring in more revenue in that department because we do have a fleet mechanics that are certified in this area to help maintain the vehicles for our I guess, brothers and sisters in fire prevention in the county. So we're excited about this. This is the very first one, and we're looking forward to others joining that, so.
Great.
Can I ask a question?
Can we ask questions on this one? Yeah, we can discuss.
How many trucks does the Concord Fire Unit have?
I think they may have as many as 7 or 8.
Okay.
But we're talking, I guess, fire apparatus and their pump trucks and aerial trucks for that. But we're doing preventive maintenance on those vehicles for them.
So it's more like scheduled stuff, not necessarily.
It's preventive maintenance, for example, just like on your automobile, for example, if you need to have the oil changed or have things checked periodically or change them out, we do that.
Okay.
Not breakdown? No breakdown work?
Excuse me?
But breakdown work would also be included?
It would be. But the primary thing is that, but for example, like all your fire apparatus have an annual inspection, it would not include that.
But if you needed a brake job?
Right.
Way to be entrepreneurial, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you have any other plans to reach out to other?
Actually, we're working through our own fire department because they have relationships in the county for that, and I've been working with Chief Kyle. As a matter of fact, Chief Kyle pretty much served as liaison to us to open that door and that opportunity, and there are others that are interested.
All right, great.
Great.
May I comment?
Please.
I think that it's along with the efficiency potential here, and it is a pilot, I think that'd be fair to say that, to see how it works for us and also with our new customer. But it is noteworthy, I think, has been mentioned too, that it's an expansion of the partnership with Concord Fire Department that we recently formalized with the 911 operation. So as everybody knows, Concord Rural Fire District is contiguous to the City of Paducah, so it only makes sense to explore these kind of things. And again, a credit to the respective chiefs of those departments and Rick and his staff for bringing this all together, and we'll see if it works, but I think it holds great promise.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Rick. All right, Commissioner Holland has the next motion for the ordinance introduction.
I move that the Board of Commissioners introduce an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance Authorizing the Mayor to Execute an Agreement Between the Commonwealth of Kentucky Department of Housing, Buildings, and Construction and the City of Paducah, Kentucky." This ordinance is summarized as follows: that the mayor is hereby authorized to execute an agreement between the Commonwealth of Kentucky Department of Housing, Buildings, and Construction and the City of Paducah, Kentucky. This agreement specifies the enforcement responsibilities within the boundaries of the city and those of the state. It is a 3-year agreement.
Second.
Great. I learned about this today.
Yes. This is one of 3 agreements that we have with the state for the expanded jurisdiction. This is the premise of the operation that we have downstairs for building, electrical, and HVAC. And there's 3 separate agreements for each. This particular one is for building, and as you heard, it's for 3 years. It's a requirement that we have to have in order to operate the way that we do. And they periodically audit us and review the agreement, and we have to update things as ordinances and such things to keep current with whatever's going, whatever versions we're working out of. And this is just that renewal.
And they offer municipalities the option
Yes.
to do these agreements or
They
not,
do,
right?
right.
Okay, yeah. Great. Any other discussion? All right. City Manager, you got a report for us?
Briefly, on the 24th, I think that's 2 weeks or 3 weeks from tonight. I'm coming
3,
on
like
3
3.
weeks from tonight, thank you. I'd like to have a workshop that night and bring forward some suggestions for the commission for criteria to use in rating capital projects. And This is something that came out of the citizen survey. The next steps workshop was a determination to improve particularly the funding component of our capital improvement project planning process. That's a lot of P's, isn't it? So we've done a lot of work to strengthen that the past 2 or 3 years in terms of the department level information being put together. But the thing that we still have lacked is the establishment of criteria to rate those projects by. Last year at budget time, we brought forward a list of projects, but it sort of pretty quickly reduced itself to the 2 that made it through the budget, which were the flood wall and also the stormwater plan. It gets a little more complicated now because that list continues to be large and there continue to be serious resource issues. So the next step, I think, in improving the process is to develop a set of criteria to rate projects by, so that when projects come forward to the commission, you will be knowledgeable of the basis by which those projects made it onto a list. And I think that's good information that can be shared with the community as well. So since the Next Steps workshop, I asked a group of directors to get together, and Michelle Smolin chaired this group, and search high and low and look for typical criteria that are used to evaluate capital improvement projects by, and put together a long list that would bring forward to the commission and directors in a workshop setting, present and explain, and then cut down to a shorter list for adoption by the commission. So we'd like to do that on the 24th. And Mayor Harless and I are in discussions about some other things that we would want to do that night too, by way of some additional orientation material that we would want to share with the commission. So just want to give you a heads up on that. It's a regular Tuesday night, so it's a night that you would typically set aside anyway.
Great, thank you. That's a meeting you want to be at. All right, any commissioners have any comments they want to make tonight?
I think we had a very nice swearing-in ceremony earlier and a very nice crowd here. It was great to see all those people and all the supporters for the city. So I'm looking forward to serving.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would like to say thank you to all the department chairs that have taken time out of their schedules to meet with me and Brandy. That's been a lot over the last month to get us caught up. I've also met with people outside of the city hall, John Hodges at the JSA and Donald Shively at Paducah Public Schools, and I really appreciate everyone who's taken time from their schedules to introduce me to the city and the team and all the great work that goes on here.
Ditto. Thanks for saying that. Do we have any public comments tonight? If you do, you usually fill out a file. Is there anything over there? Okay, good. I was going to remind everyone, I forgot to do that part. And then, do we have an executive session planned? No.
Now, we're not meeting next week.
No, we will not be meeting next week. We are 3 of us, I'm pretty sure. You're not getting to go, right, to the academy?
Oh, no, I'm not.
Lexington, okay. We're going to head to the academy in Lexington, the Kentucky League of Cities, to learn more about being an elected official. So
Be the best elected official.
that's right. We're gonna
We
learn a lot.
need to do some coordination on the transportation there, so Tammy, I think, will be reaching out and seeing what we can put together. We
Great.
have a couple of city vehicles that can make that trip, so.
Sounds good. Okay, well, if there is nothing further, then I will call this meeting adjourned. Thank you all so much for being at the first meeting.